Hi there guys, my name's Smokey Joe and I'm the founder and owner of Bongalong, a brand fighting for the legalization of cannabis in South Africa. But right now, we're filming episodes where we will be asking people how they feel about the legalization of cannabis in South Africa. What we hope to achieve through this is spread awareness and educate people on the innumerable benefits that the legalization of cannabis will hold for us as a community. Hi there guys, my name's Smokey Joe and today we're filming episode 6 of the Bongalong Interviews. We've come out to Cape Town CBD, specifically here in between the financial buildings and what's presumably the financial district of Cape Town, and we're going to ask the people here how they feel about the legalization of cannabis. So, let's see what they have to say. Hi there ma'am, tell me what's your name?
I'm Hayley.
Hayley, and what do you do?
I'm currently studying at Volksburg College in Muizenberg, and we're doing our WBE at Park Inn Hotel. Yeah.
Okay, what are you studying?
Hospitality.
Okay, great. And the question that we ask South Africans is how they feel about the legalization of cannabis.
Well, I don't think it's a bad thing. Well, depending on where you're doing it and if it's civilized and how the people are reacting towards it.
Smokey Joe.
Now, my name's Smokey Joe, but seriously, you got the same name as I do.
Yo, man, I love that shit. That weed is some good scape, man. Where do you find that on your telephone? I'm just phoning my dealer at the moment.
So, what do you do for a living, sir?
Some cannabis, as much of it as I can.
Well, no. So, how do you feel about legalizing that cannabis?
Completely against it, because where's my dealings gonna go if I'm a drug dealer, yo?
Well, touche, but maybe you could revamp and you could sell it legally and, well, less money, but at least do it without the risk.
God damn it, you was gonna take me profits.
No, but seriously. Okay.
My name is Neil.
Neil, and what do you do?
I'm an account executive.
Okay, and tell me, how do you feel about legalizing cannabis in South Africa?
There's two ways, there's always two sides to everything. One is, I think maybe people will just abuse it. And on the other side, there's the medical side to it as well, which I really think they should do. For that purpose, they should legalize it in that way. Whether they should let it be legalized for everybody just to go buy like they want to, no.
Okay, and do you think at the moment people could just buy it as they want to in anyways?
They probably could.
And do you think that if we were to legalize it for regulated, controlled and taxated sales, it would be an economic benefit to the country?
I suppose it could.
The medical benefits, what medical benefits have you heard of?
Arthritis. It helps. I'll be honest, I know quite a few people that use it for that purpose. And it helps them. You know, and I suppose there are quite a few other medical it could help in that way. Medically, it could help in that way. I'm sure there's in many ways it could help.
Okay. And the people using it for arthritis, do you know in which form they're using the cannabis?
Smoking it?
So we were walking around here asking people the question on how they feel about legalizing cannabis in South Africa when we spotted that guy. SARS, what is that? That is the South African Revenue Services. Now, we're just going to add in a little note here. Considering the amount of people that you've seen even admitting to smoking this and admitting to the amount of people they know that smoke this, you can imagine that this is a massive trade. Apparently even bigger than the alcohol industry in South Africa right now. But we, as taxpayers, are not seeing a single cent of that money going towards any kind of endeavors that these guys are involved in. So when are we going to wake up? When are we going to legalize this trade so that when a gram of cannabis is sold for smoking purposes, it's also helping us, the taxpayers and the people who live in this country, rather than funding violent criminals. And not all the people selling cannabis are violent criminals. Some of them are simply businessmen, healers, and people who are trying to do their best in South Africa. So let's legalize this stuff and start seeing an economic change rather than the economic detriment. Thank you, guys.
Taslim.
Taslim, and what do you do?
Basically, at the moment I work for a call center called Teleperformance. It's basically an international call center on a Vodafone campaign, doing customer service.
Okay. And how do you feel about legalizing cannabis in South Africa?
Well, basically I would agree to it being legalized because I think if cannabis is legalized, a lot of crime will go down, a lot of crime prevention will also go down, because then you won't be able to, you'll be able to get weed at the convenience store, and it wouldn't be a thing where you have to be after mischief and you're too afraid to get arrested by going to buy weed and stuff like that. Because if, let's say example, at the moment it's not legalized and I go buy weed and I get arrested, I'm just a normal citizen, a law-abiding citizen, but now I go to jail, and for a couple of months or a couple of years even, some of the judges are very ridiculous, and then to survive in jail, you're going to have to become one of the number gangs, then what happens is I just mess up my life by becoming a number gang, and then when I come out, I have a criminal record where if cannabis was legalized, I could just go and buy it at any convenience store and not mess up my life and become one of the statistics in jail. So.
What do you know about the medical benefits of cannabis?
I'm not really quite equipped with it, but funny that you asked me. Yesterday I read a book at one of the book sales about cannabis. I just read a short piece where they said some of the researchers actually found out that cannabis has the same effect on the brain as a bar of chocolate, and I know it opens the brain cells a bit, and even myself, when I was young and back in school, I used to smoke cannabis to help me relax and to help me study and get me through my final exams. So I don't think it's a bad thing.
Moira Kriga.
And
I'm from Mitchell's Plain.
Okay, and Moira, what do you do?
I'm in women's empowerment.
Okay, great. How do you feel about legalizing cannabis in South Africa?
As long as they don't expect me to start smoking it, I don't have a problem in it being legalized.
Okay. And have you heard anything about the medical benefits of cannabis?
That's exactly why I'm saying I don't have a problem legalizing it, because I know of all the medical benefits, but don't expect me to start smoking it.
No one expecting you to start smoking. And what medical benefits have you heard about surrounding cannabis?
I know a lot of people are asthmatic, and that it's got good medicinal qualities for that purpose. And there's so many other things that, when you go and read up, when you look at cannabis, even they even make material from the plant. So there's if you look at you look at the plant and all the benefits, you actually need to throw nothing away. After you've processed whatever the plant offers, there's nothing to throw away.
Yeah, my name is Sipio Kwaza.
And what do you guys do?
We're currently studying at Force Bay College N5 Hospitality.
Also, yes.
And how do you guys feel about legalizing cannabis, ganja, in South Africa?
Yeah, I think it should be legalized because a lot of Rastafarians are too busy demanding, vandalizing the streets. So I think we should give them this opportunity to express their feelings.
Yeah, I also think it must be legalized, because most of them when they are high, they don't mess up with people, they don't interfere with people, they just do their own thing,
Trevor.
Trevor, and what do you do?
I'm a photographer.
Freelance photographer.
Freelance, yes.
Okay. How do you feel about legalizing cannabis in South Africa?
Okay, personally, on a medicinal level, I think it's a goal. It's a good idea. However, when it comes to to just smoking it, I think it's a bad idea because I'm exposed to what young people can do, especially with scenes that I get to shoot and things like that, and it really messes up with people in terms of mental issues. So in terms of that, I'm usually against it. With regards to the youth as well, they get usually affected by that, and just giving it the go ahead, I think it's just going to be opening a can of worms that is going to impact adversely the youth of South Africa. So, yeah.
But do you think that illegal market is safer than a legal market for the youth of South Africa?
I think one should, while it's still being illegal and it's there's still a little bit of control in it, I think it's just going to blow out of proportion should you make it legal. And and I mean, if you're looking at the people that are currently selling it, if you go ahead and just open the market, it's going to be this is going to be turn out to be not good in a sense, I believe, in any case. Yeah.
And how do you think they're controlling it right now in an illegal market?
In terms of the cops, I've seen a couple of people getting arrested in terms of when they're selling it. So I think that is still positive in that sense that there's still a little bit of control wherever, and people are still hiding it, hiding when they're smoking it, and it's still unacceptable. So that's a little bit of, at least there's a little bit of guilt in it for now. However, when you make it legal, then there's no control. You're just letting it happen, and I don't believe that is going to be leading to I'm more concerned about the youth, and I don't think it's going to be a good idea.
John.
And what do you do, Johan?
I'm an economist.
And for which company are you an economist?
Bongani.
Right. Tell me, how do you feel about the legalization of cannabis in South Africa?
Well, I do believe that drugs is never a good idea. But I suppose the important thing is then to enforce whatever legislation is in place properly. Barring that, it becomes an issue. You know, if it's no use having the laws in place and not being able to enforce that. And I suppose that's one of our key problems. Clearly, there are other counter arguments in terms of health, usage and so on and so forth. But I'm fairly convinced that on a net basis it's more negative than positive.
Okay. And as an economist, how would you think the legal sales of cannabis, if it was to be regulated, controlled and taxated, how do you think that would impact the South African economy?
Well, in that case, should we get to that, as long as it's done properly. But I suppose the first bridge to cross is to decide whether we should actually allow that or not. At this stage, as you know, it's not allowed, and I suppose that's where we are at this stage.
But let's say the bridge was crossed, and they could they implemented proper legislation as well as systems to control it and to make it safer, but also taxable. How much of an impact do you think that would have on the South African economy?
Well, in the bigger scheme of things, minute. However, for certain communities, it might add something of significance. But in the bigger scheme of things, it would be very, very small.
But you say very small. The British statistic for cannabis going through South African ports only to the UK is 1.8 billion pounds worth of cannabis coming from Swaziland, Malawi, Lesotho, and the Eastern Cape going out of our ports to England right now that's not being taxed.
In the main, it's a sort of moral argument, because as you understand, these things tend to lead to other, maybe more dangerous usage, of other types of drugs. And I suppose that's one of the key concerns.
Zane Anderson.
And Zane, what do you do?
I study personal training.
Okay. How do you feel about legalizing cannabis in South Africa?
I feel that cannabis should be legalized because I don't see it as a drug. I see it as a lifestyle. It's not really something that I chose myself, like started doing it with friends and then just became part of my life, and I don't really see a bad thing about it. I use it to study sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. And have you heard anything about the medical benefits of cannabis?
I have. It can reduce stress.
Good.
My name is Donovan.
And Kurt, Donovan, what do you guys do?
I'm a personal trainer at Virgin Active.
I'm a fitness manager at Virgin Active.
Perfect. And how do you guys feel about legalizing cannabis in South Africa?
It's a funny question. I don't know if we should legalize it though, because I know quite a lot of people that do smoke weed. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe we should give it a go.
This topic arises a lot, especially in the youth organizations and stuff like that. We just had an issue because the youth organization that I belong to is very diverse. And some of the members in the youth are Rastafarians and different diversities. And they post all of this stuff on what they use, what cannabis is used for health stuff and stuff like that, like hemp oil and all of that stuff that help for health, to boost your immune system basically. So I don't know. So in that aspect, yeah, I would say yes.
Why are you just smoking weed? What do you think?
I don't know. but in the health aspect, yeah. I would say yeah.
Charlagne.
And Charlagne, what do you do?
I'm a PA, Civic.
Okay, and how do you feel about the legalization of cannabis in South Africa?
I think there's a definite need for the legalization. I have a sister-in-law that's been diagnosed with cancer, and she's using it, and I've only heard positive things about it. I read an article about the one woman, the Cape Town woman, I'm not sure about the name, and she didn't die of cancer. She died of something else. She used cannabis oil, and that was definitely an eye-opener for me. And I know I've got family that's using it, and it's definitely, I haven't heard anything negative.
Dipamandla.
I'm Lusanda.
And what do you guys do?
I'm a PR student.
Yeah. I'm also a PR student at CPUT.
Okay, how do you guys feel about legalizing cannabis in South Africa?
Supporting culture for people who actually believe in cannabis or the other word. So I'm supporting the people. So I think it must be legalized as people believe in different things. I feel like their voices must be heard too, and they must try to be supported. The government must try to support them too, so that their cultural needs can be satisfied too, and not be seen as a taboo or anything else like that. Yeah.
I also support what he said, that okay, we should also celebrate different cultures and also accept those people who are expressing their cultures. So yeah, I think it would be a great idea if South Africa could legalize the cannabis. So yeah.
Hi there, sir. Tell me, what's your name?
My name is Rama.
And Rama, what do you do?
I'm working at my city.
Oh, how do you feel about legalizing cannabis in South Africa? Cannabis ganja?
Let's call it ganja. I don't have a problem with it because it's natural, and something natural is good. It's like just like someone eating apple and pineapple and apple. You see, so I don't see if there is a problem with that because it's natural. There is no harsh chemicals like cigarette. You see, like the normal cigarette. I don't see any problem about it.
My name is Tapio.
And what do you do?
I'm part of a financial advisory team.
Okay, how do you feel about legalizing cannabis in South Africa?
I think if people wanna smoke, they should smoke. No big deal. It shouldn't be someone else's decision. It shouldn't be the government's decision. I mean, if people wanna smoke, they should smoke.
And do you think financially it would benefit South Africa if cannabis was legalized?
Definitely. I mean, now then we can at least get VAT on it. So yeah, definitely financially it will benefit the country if it's not an illegal thing.
Bruce Barclay.
Bruce, what do you do?
I'm a stockbroker.
And how do you feel about the legalization of cannabis in South Africa?
Well, I think it's a very big topic. I think the pros and cons to it depends on from what quarter you're coming.
And well, the quarter, but like, in your opinion, do you think it should be legalized or it shouldn't be legalized?
I think for medical reasons, specific reasons, yes, it should be legalized. But just on a general basis, I think there are questions about it, yeah.
And what have you heard about the medical benefits of cannabis?
I haven't gone into great studies, but I do believe that there are great benefits to it from a cancer point of view, and probably just helping pain. And I think those patients should be able to get hold of it, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your opinion. Oh, you said you were a financial broker, lastly. How much of an impact do you see the legalization of cannabis having financially on South Africa?
Well, of course, if the government can tax it, it'll be a great thing. Obviously, it'll help the country.
Paul,
and what do you do?
I'm a hotel manager.
And how do you feel about the legalization of cannabis in South Africa?
Yeah, I'm totally for it. I've experienced people who are in the business in the States who run operations since it's been legalized, and I'm very much in favor of it.
And what have you heard from them, the guys coming in from the States? How's that been going there?
Yeah, I think it's at least the money's all going into the economy now, which it never did before. And I think, I'm a firm believer that some of the medicinal benefits are incredible. And so, yeah, I'm strongly in favor.
And what medicinal benefits have you heard of?
Well, I know for cancer, cancer's a huge one. Sure, I think skin treatments, the oil, it's very powerful. I've used it before for skin ailments, and yeah.
This is Joe in his natural environment, hunting for the interviews, the very important cannabis law. On the hunt. It's ready to pounce on big pharmaceutical companies. On the hunt, on the doorstep of pharmaceutical companies. In he goes, ready to pounce.
We're asking South Africans how they feel about the legalization of cannabis.
Tian Kritzinger.
And Tian, what do you do?
Pharmacist.
Tell me, how do you feel about legalizing cannabis in South Africa?
Well, I think it's got to be done in the right way. But I mean, it's happened in lots of states in the United States now already. You said 7. And yeah, so I think, yeah, we can do it. But yeah, obviously in the right way. Yeah.
And have you heard anything about the medical benefits of cannabis?
Well, usually with cancer patients, they use it for the nausea when they are busy with their treatment and with chemotherapy. So yeah, definitely very great benefits there.
And do you think it would hold a financial, economical benefit for South Africa if we were to tax the sales of cannabis?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. I mean, yeah. What do they do in Holland? I suppose they do tax it. Yeah. So yeah, I suppose. And also police-wise, I think police enforcement would now, our hands wouldn't be as tied as much with, running behind that the whole time, and they can catch more serious criminals. Or serious criminals.
Oh, exactly. Making time for the police to go after more serious criminals. But yes, thank you for your time. And last question, do you mind if we use this on Cape Town TV and YouTube?
Yes, no, you can.
Perfect.
Brian.
And what do you do, Brian?
I'm a music producer.
Right. Tell me, how do you feel about the legalization of cannabis in South Africa?
I think that would be great if they legalize. Like most of the successful people, they are actually smoking, and I don't see anything wrong about that. Yeah. As for me, I smoke. Yeah.
Oh, wait. And tell me, have you heard anything about the medical benefits of cannabis?
Yeah, I heard about it also heals asthma and cancer as well. Yeah.
Okay. And do any of your musical artists, do they use cannabis for the throat and for the singing?
Yeah, a lot. Like for meditation, I mean, when you're doing like studio work, you really need like pure meditation. And also that's like stressful. So I think also with weed, that also relieves that.
Oh, great, man. Well, thank you for your time and have a good day. Do you mind if we use the footage on Cape Town TV and YouTube?
Yeah, no problem.
I represent, let's check it out.